spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. The Peterson Insurance Agency is inviting the community to an open house to celebrate the retirement of the longtime owner of the Stoutenborough Insurance Agency in Maroa. Dexter Peterson from Peterson Insurance told the Heart Media Group on Thursday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. everyone is welcome to stop by and celebrate the retirement of Bill Ryan.
We were just having an open house at our Maroa office, which is under the Stoutenborough Insurance name. We've had that office for just over a year now, but we thought it was a good time to just welcome in the community to kind of meet some of us and see some of the updates we've done in the office and give them a last chance to see the previous owner, Bill Ryan.
Peterson indicates they've spent the past year doing some updates to the building on Main Street in Maroa. Some things the public will notice, and others they won't.
Some of the stuff that the customers will see is just kind of some updated facelifts on the front of the office, some paint and some flooring and stuff like that. And then we've done some updates as far as the computer system and everything there that they wouldn't really get to see. But we've been busy the last year.
Peterson reminds the agency bought the business in Maroa from Ryan about a year ago and has been in Maroa ever since.
The previous owner, Bill Ryan, yep, he's retired now, and he's going to be at the open house, so we thought this would be a good chance for everybody to kind of see him one last chance. As I mentioned, Bill, the previous owner, he didn't have any family or anyone in the business, and being so close to our Peterson Insurance location in Clinton just seemed like the right fit for us. So actually, February 1st of 2025 is when we purchased the Stoutenborough Insurance Agency. It's been a busy year, but it's been a good year. So we're just happy to be able to do something like that and hopefully see a good turnout on Thursday.
The open house is from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday at the Stoutenborough Insurance Office at 125 West Main Street in Maroa. Peterson invites the community out for drinks, snacks, and to meet the team in their office. Tuesday night was highlighted by widespread severe weather in central Illinois. On the other side of these storms is a cool down and with more precipitation. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln told the Heart Media Group that more rain is on the way on Wednesday.
Yeah, then we're going to see, temperatures obviously cool down, 77 for a high today, but we'll be highs in the upper 40s on Thursday. That'll be our coolest morning, of the daytimes this week. As you kind of alluded to into the weekend, we have another cold front on Saturday that's going to really drop the bottom out because by early next week, we're going to be about highs in right around 30, below freezing for a high. That's pretty chilly. So the rain's going to continue Wednesday morning. We've got 90% chance of rain in there, and there's going to be redevelopment behind the cold front. So, the cold front will go through with the storm line, but there's going to be additional rain. Most of the day Wednesday really is be under the gun with some rain, high of only 59, but it'll be breezy. That northwest wind's going to come in. I think we've got gusts up to 35 miles an hour on Wednesday. So just not a pleasant day. Then we start to shut the rain off. Wednesday night below freezing, 29, up to 49 Thursday. Then the lows aren't too bad on Thursday night. We start to see the wind shift out of the south again ahead of that next wave of rain that's coming in for potentially Saturday ahead of that cold front. But Just breezy and unsettled conditions all the way through that next cold front coming in this weekend.
The cool weather is going to stick around. Shimon indicates the 8 to 14-day outlooks show cooler than normal temperatures before a warm-up at the end of the month. The above normal precipitation signal sticks around for most of the spring.
Yeah, the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14-day outlooks show below normal temperatures. So we're going to cool down, and it'll probably be cooler than normal for the balance of that time frame all the way out through, this says, the 23rd. Then we see the transition at the end of the month. It looks like to be back to above normal. Precipitation-wise, that middle of the month looks below normal precip. From all the way out to the 6 to 10 to 8 to 14 days, either near normal or below normal precip.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably see, just whatever we get through this, mainly today, tonight, and tomorrow. But after that, not a lot of precip, probably through about the third week of March, and then the end of March, we'll probably have a storm system come and develop probably that last week, but warmer than normal that last week. So
yeah,
as we head into April.
Still to come with Shimon this week. With all the rain of the last 24 hours, the drought should ease a bit in central Illinois. We'll hear more from Shimon on that at the Hart Media Group. Get the latest in weather forecasts and severe weather recaps at weather.gov/Lincoln. Taking a look at some rainfall totals from around the state, courtesy of the CoCoRahs mapping system. Around Clinton, or rather southwest of Clinton, in the west part of Macon County, 1.54 inches of rain, between Latham and Warrensburg comes that report. If we look further north to Lincoln, we taper off a little bit, 0.63 inches of rain in Logan County. Southeast of Bloomington, even less rain, 0.035 inches of rain coming last night. But on the northwest side of McLean County, back up to 0.8 inches of rain. If we go east of Clinton to the Champaign and Urbana area, southwest of Urbana is 1.65 inches of rain, so a little more out east of DeWitt County, and the eastern part of Champaign County around St. Joe having 0.99 inches, so just about an inch of rainfall. If we look even further east out to the Danville area in Vermilion County, reporting 0.97 inches of rain and 1.1 inches of rain even on the north side of Danville being reported. If we go a little further south in Christian County, the southwest corner of Christian County, that is 3/4 of an inch of rain reported. And then if we go all the way down to St. Louis, just shy of a half inch in southern Madison County around the Collinsville, Glen Carbon area, 0.45 inches of rain reported. If we look a little further north, a big tornadic event in Kankakee County yesterday, 0.46 inches of rain reported during that event. South of there in the center of Iroquois County, 0.51 inches of rain reported. If we look a little closer to the suburbs around my hometown, Aurora, about an inch and a half of rain, 1.54 inches reported. 1.14 in DuPage County, so a little bit more rain up in the Chicagoland area. West of there in Lee County, about a half inch of rain. Up in the Rockford area, as little as 0.2 inches of rain and around the north side of Rockford, and 0.26 inches of rain around the Freeport area. So quite a bit of variety when it comes to rainfall totals around the state. But once again, closer to home here in the central Illinois area, 1.54 in the northwest area of Macon County, and about 0.35 in McLean County, also 0.8 in McLean County. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
March into Baum Chevrolet Buick and march out with a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have over 20 Silverados to fit your daily work needs in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel, all sale priced. Also, check out the Colorado pickup. This size and maneuverability may be another option as well. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
News time is 19 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Among the ag education efforts being highlighted in the state is the Illinois Junior Manners, or MANRRS Conference. Manners is Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences. Luke Allen is a program advisor with facilitating coordination in agricultural education.
My territory is the Northeast Illinois, specifically the Chicago area. And if there's one thing that we in the agriculture industry know is that we don't have enough people in the industry. And there is not a sector who tells us that to stop recruiting students into the talent pipeline. And so as a state, we have are working on strategies to recruit new students from communities where we haven't had existing ag programs. How do we reach more students to recruit them into careers in agriculture and to be educated consumers of our agriculture commodities? And so one of the organizations we partner with and support is a group called Manners, and it started as an organization for minorities who had an interest in professional careers in agriculture. It has grown significantly. It's all over the nation at universities, and they have created junior chapters to help build the bridge between high school programs and universities, to help students ease into those collegiate programs where sometimes they may be the first generation of students considering going to a college. And so we have 7 Manners chapters around Illinois, from Freeport, Carbondale, Decatur, Urbana. In the south suburbs, we have Rich Township High School. And in the city of Chicago, we have Gary Comer Youth Center, a charter school with a really fantastic farm. And we have the Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences.
The Illinois Junior Manners Conference is March 26th through 28th at Freeport High School. Warm weather is here, and for those looking for spring home improvement projects, the Better Business Bureau has a few warnings before signing on the dotted line. Finding a trustworthy contractor is hard enough, but the BBB says some contractors take upfront payments and never finish the work. That's led Don O'Brien, a scam investigator with the BBB, to issue these warnings.
Obviously, if you can't get a hold of the company for a quote, that's going to be a red flag that maybe you don't want to use them because they're either busy with too many other people, or maybe they're just not taking jobs right now. Other red flags include that companies that insist on cash-only deals, if they use some high-pressure sales tactics on you, and if they require high payments up front or don't use a written contract. And payment is really big, because if they ask you to pay the entirety of the project up front, you don't want to deal with that business, because what we hear at Better Business Bureau from people who do use businesses like that and pay the entire thing up front, they sometimes will run into the situation where they'll take the money and run and don't do any work on that project.
When hiring a contractor, O'Brien says you should ask for a list of local references and verify that the company or worker is licensed in the state. Additionally, obtain a written contract that covers all job details. A trusted general contractors list can be found at bbb.org. The Agriculture Department's radio service has served the public for 100 years as of 2026, almost as old as the medium itself. And over its century, USDA Radio has provided information about farming, ranching, and the department in a variety of ways and formats. Rod Bain prevents the second of a series of programs on USDA Radio over the years in this edition of Agriculture USA. Now for your local obituaries. Michelle R. Cusi, 61, of Wapella, passed away at 1:03 p.m. March 4th at her family residence in Wapella. No services are planned at this time. The family entrusted Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton with cremation rights. Memorials may be directed to Second Chance Pet Adoption. Charles R. Williams, 75, of Clinton, passed away at 3:08 a.m. March 2nd at his home in Clinton. Private services will be held at a later date. The family entrusted Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton with cremation rights. Memorials may be directed to the American Heart Association or to Encore. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. In the Middle East, Iran has attacked commercial ships across the Persian Gulf and targeted Dubai International Airport. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says about 140 U.S. military personnel have been wounded in the war. Most are minor injuries, but 8 are listed as severely wounded. 7 American service members have been killed. In the contest to fill Marjorie Taylor Greene's former Georgia seat in the U.S. House, Republican Clay Fuller and Democrat Sean Harris are advancing to an April runoff. President Trump has endorsed Fuller. FIFA expects Iran's national team will be allowed to come to the U.S. for the World Cup this summer. There's been some doubt because of the war. The head of FIFA spoke with President Trump last night and received assurances that the Iranian team would be permitted to come to the United States for competition. This is SRN News.
Is your Jesus shaped more by culture than by scripture? In our instant world, we've made Jesus into a life coach, a therapist, a political ally. The Missing Messiah, a new book by Kyle Idleman and Mark Moore, helps us understand how Western culture has gradually reshaped Jesus into our image and recognize the difference between a personalized Savior and a revolutionary King. If you believe there's a more dangerous, more majestic Messiah than the one you've inherited, visit missingmessiah.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Flo here to say drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Nice. With my new savings, I'll get some hiking gear. It'll be great for my outdoor era.
I don't know if it counts as an era if you just buy stuff.
I got a cute hiking backpack. It's an outdoor era.
Well, you only bought one thing. I don't think it's an era.
Well, I think we're in a agree to disagree era.
Yeah, sure, you're probably right. Anyway, with the money you could save by switching to Progressive, you can afford to switch to other things in life. It's
my savings era.
Also, everything you do is not an era.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliate.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. The Tri-Valley Vikings are looking to build on last year's regional semifinal exit with a group of experienced players. Head coach John Fisher told the Hart Media Group that he has 11 seniors on this year's team, most of whom saw significant varsity playing time last season and have good chemistry. He adds that pitching and keeping games short will be a focus for the team this year.
We have 11 seniors this year, and most of them contributed in one way or another last year. We just graduated 3. So we do have some good experience coming back. We preach a few things, and I think those things are going to be carried over. Our pitchers are going to work with good tempo, keep our defense alive. We're going to do what we can to score a run an inning and keep the pressure on the opponent, and then we do whatever we can to limit bases and just shorten the game up. And we try to play clean. We try to play with good energy, and focus on little things and focus on each other. Yeah, this group we've got some really good pitchers. We've got Grayson Coughlin, who was in our rotation last year. Sam Knuckle was in our rotation last year, and then Eli Roberts was our closer last year, but I think he'll carry a good chunky innings for us. Those first 2 have already committed to college programs, and I think Eli's exploring his options still. And then in the field, we got a couple middle infielders, Ethan Moore and Chase Hayworth, who work really well together and are super detailed and focused in their glove work. And so it's fun watching those guys work up the middle. We've got a slew of outfielders too that I trust tracking down fly balls and putting the ball in play. So it's a lot of kids that do a lot of things right, and they work hard and they get along. So it's a really easy group to coach.
Fisher believes that the game starts at the pitcher and catcher positions. noting that supporting those players by making the routine outs has to be second nature. He says consistency on defense will allow them to open up their offense.
I'm a pitcher, and so I spend a lot of time with our pitchers and catchers, and I think our team understands that the more we can support our pitchers and catchers and whatever abilities we have, wherever we're at on the field or whatever we can do offensively, when we can have consistency there and we know what to expect and we've got good communication and objectives on how we attack hitters and lineups, it's fun for everybody when the battery is rolling like that. Makes it really easy to play behind. So I guess I'll start with last year. We put the ball in play pretty well. The games that we did not come out on top were games that we had a tough time putting the ball in play. So I look to these seniors especially to take that next step and put the ball in play and constantly put pressure. We like to do a little bit of everything, small ball, and sometimes we run into a pitch and grab some extra bases, but just being as tough outs as we can be and working our brains ahead of time to put ourselves in the best situations to take advantage of counts.
Early in the season, Fisher has been focusing on pitching depth and making sure that they have options on the mound. Despite the less than ideal weather of the last few weeks, he feels they have had no problem practicing indoors.
It's been a great couple days energy-wise. We got a little flu bug going around the building, so we're managing that. We've got really good indoor facilities, thankfully, here, so don't feel like being indoors is as much of a hindrance as it was years ago before we had the spaces that we've got now. So we were able to get in our cages and get our throwing in and get guys as close to outdoor ready as we can. That way, when the weather finally breaks, we're able to get after it. We spend a lot of time as a program making sure we're building up our pitchers efficiently and safely. That way we get to week 1 or week 2 with options to go. And, some guys are a little bit farther along, but if we need to Johnny Allstaff our first couple games, we'll do that. But I do have confidence that we've got a pretty good build-up plan to get pitchers and catchers going so that we can control that part while we're inside. And then when we get outside, put the ball in play, see what happens early. But yeah, most of our focus is on pitchers and catchers and then getting our hitters in there, at least standing in or live early on, just so our pitchers are facing that early, and then obviously it helps our hitters to start tracking pitches. So those are the things I feel like we can most easily accomplish inside. And then when we get outside and we've got some more room to move, we fine-tune bunt coverages and first and third situations and things like that.
The Tri-Valley Vikings kick off the baseball season on March 16th when they play host to the Paxton Buckley Loda Panthers. First pitch is at 4:30 p.m. in Downs. Illinois returned to the win column with a 21-8 victory over Western Illinois on Tuesday night at Illinois Field. The Illini collected season highs in runs and hits in the 13-run triumph, while the pitching staff posted a season most 13 strikeouts in the win. 4 Illini recorded multi-hit days at the plate, led by A.J. Putty, who tallied a 4-for-5 day at the plate while reaching 5 times, driving in 3 runs, and scoring 3 times. Nick Groves notched 3 hits and 2 RBIs in the leadoff spot, extending his on-base streak to 27 games, while Will Johans collected 2 hits, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs. Braden Mazzacano finished with a career-high 4 RBIs, while J.R. Nelson went 2 for 5 with a season-best 3 RBIs. On the mound, Sam Mommer earned the win, going 3 innings and striking out 2, while Monticello High School alumni Ike Young totaled 4 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. Ryan Ohm registered 3 strikeouts across his 2 innings, while Liam McKillop and Oliver Martell amassed 2 strikeouts apiece in their scoreless outings in the 8th and 9th, respectively. After the Leathernecks opened the scoring in the top half of the first, the Illini responded with 7 runs in the home half of the frame. Colin Jennings led team-leading 5th home run of the season, and Mazzacano's triple highlighting the inning, which saw Illinois draw 4 walks and send 10 batters to the plate. With the Illini holding an 11-7 advantage, The home slide tallied 5 runs on 5 hits in the 6th inning. Johans, Mezzacano, Nelson, and Groves all posted RBIs in the frame, which extended Illinois' edge to 16-7. In the bottom half of the 7th inning, Luke Landris logged the first RBI of his collegiate career before Kyle Shupman and Mazzacano lengthened the team's lead to double digits. Putty's 2-run single in the 8th brought the Illini scoring total above 20 runs. The Illinois State baseball program captured an 8-5 victory over St. Louis Tuesday afternoon at the Billikens Sports Center. With the win, the Redbirds moved to 9-7 overall in 2026. The Redbirds jumped out to a 1-0 advantage after the leadoff hitter Camden Karchewski homered to left field on the second pitch of the contest to put Illinois State out in front. Illinois State added 4 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Luke Stolga drove in Graham Mastros on an RBI single to push the Redbirds' advantage to 2-0, as Michael Carano followed Stolga's RBI single with a 2-run inside the park home run, extending the Redbirds' lead to 4-0. Ryan Banks hit a home run of his own, bringing the score to 5-0. St. Louis responded in the bottom half of the inning with a 4-run frame on 6 base hits to cut the lead to 5-4. In the top of the 6th, the Redbirds improved their lead to 6-4 after Braden Bakes singled to drive home Eric Machej, following a leadoff single from Machej to open the frame. An inning later in the 7th, the Billikens pulled a run back after a leadoff double and an RBI single to make the score 6-5. After St. Louis worked a pair of runners into scoring position in the 8th, graduate Reese Clapp tallied back-to-back strikeouts to close the frame and preserve the Redbirds' lead at 6-5. In the 9th, Illinois State added 2 insurance runs as senior Nolan Berry tallied a 2-run RBI single after the Redbirds worked 3 walks to load the bases. In the bottom half, the Billikens brought the tying run to the plate. However, Cap worked out the jam to secure the victory for the Redbirds. Illinois' Keaton Wagler was the unanimous choice for Freshman of the Year in voting by a panel of 16 media members who cover the Big Ten. Wagler entered the season under the radar among incoming freshmen. Though he was a state high school player of the year in Kansas, he was not seriously recruited by Kansas or even Kansas State. The nation knows Wagler now. He averages a team best 17.9 points and 4.3 assists per game and shoots 41% on threes and 81% on free throws. He scored them last 30 years with 46 against Purdue. He was also selected as the only freshman on the AP All-Big Ten first team. Mattis Buzelis scored a career-high 41 points and hit a key three-pointer with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in overtime. Josh Giddey had a triple-double of 21 points, 17 assists, and 13 rebounds. And the Chicago Bulls beat the undermanned Golden State Warriors 130-124 on Tuesday night. Chicago's Jalen Smith converted 2 free throws with 1.4 seconds left in regulation to send the game into overtime. And Trey Jones contributed 22 points for the Bulls, who bounced back from a tough 126-110 loss at Sacramento on Sunday. Kristaps Porzingis scored 17 points and blocked 4 shots, and Pat Spencer had 17 points and 6 assists. But the Warriors missed another chance to give Coach Steve Kerr career win number 600. Guy Santos made a go-ahead layup with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in regulation on the way to 17 points, and Spencer scored the next time down. LJ Cryer also contributed 17 points for Golden State, which had a big man Al Horford and Porzingis available after both sat out of the team's 119-116 loss Monday night at Utah. Porzingis converted a three-point play with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in the third quarter that pulled the Warriors within 2 points. Then they took the lead on Cryer's basket the next possession before Porzingis hit a three. The Bulls visit the Lakers on Thursday night to continue a 5-game West Coast road trip. The Warriors host Minnesota on Friday night. Matthew Barzal scored in overtime to cap the New York Islanders' rally from a 3-goal deficit for a 4-3 win over the St. Louis Blues on Tuesday night. In addition to his goal at 2 minutes and 11 seconds of the extra period, Barzal had 2 assists. Callum Ritchie had a goal and an assist, and Jean-Gabriel Pageau and Bo Horvat also scored for the Islanders. Ilya Sorokin made 20 saves. Jimmy Snuggerud had a goal and 2 assists as the Blues had their season-high 4-game winning streak snapped. It was the 3rd straight multi-point game for Snuggerud. The 21-year-old has 17 points in his last 13 games with 6 goals and 11 assists. Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway also scored for the Blues. Joel Hofer made 45 saves. Trailing 3-0, Pageau got the Islanders on the board with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second period. The turning point came when the Blues forward Pavel Buchnevich was called for double minor high sticking penalty early in the third period. Ritchie scored on the power play at 5 minutes and 52 seconds of the third, and Horvat scored a power play goal a minute later to tie it at 3-3. Broberg gave the Blues the lead at 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the first. Holloway made it 2-0 at 9 minutes and 10 seconds of the second period, and Snuggerud added to the lead 87 seconds later. Robert Thomas appeared to make it 4-0 with 5 minutes and 32 seconds left in the second, but the goal was waved off after the Islanders successfully challenged that St. Louis was offsides on the play. The Islanders host Los Angeles on Friday night, while the Blues travel to Carolina on Thursday night. In scores from around the NBA last night, the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Memphis Grizzlies 139-129, while the Atlanta Hawks took down the Dallas Mavericks 124-112. The Detroit Pistons routed the Brooklyn Nets 138-100, and the Miami Heat beat the Washington Wizards 150-129. The San Antonio Spurs took down the Boston Celtics 125-116, while the Phoenix Suns beat the Milwaukee Bucks 129-114. The Houston Rockets took down the Toronto Raptors 113-99, while the Charlotte Hornets beat the Portland Trailblazers 103-101. The Indiana Pacers fell to the Sacramento Kings 114-109, and the LA Lakers beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 120-106. In the NHL last night, the New York Rangers shut out the Calgary Flames 4-0, while the Columbus Blue Jackets beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-2. The Florida Panthers took down the Detroit Red Wings 4-3, while the Boston Bruins beat the LA Kings 2-1 in overtime. The Carolina Hurricanes beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-4 in a shootout, and the Buffalo Sabres won over the San Jose Sharks 6-3. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1, while the Dallas Stars beat the Las Vegas Golden Knights 2-1. The Minnesota Timberwolves shut out the Utah Mammoth 5-0, while the Anaheim Ducks beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-1, and the Edmonton Oilers took down the Colorado Avalanche 4-3. The Nashville Predators beat the Seattle Kraken 4-2. Get highlights of your local high school